What if I told you that one of the most dangerous things in your kitchen isn't a sharp knife or a hot stove? What if the real threat to your longevity is something you do every single day, possibly multiple times a day, without ever giving it a second thought? It is a common kitchen habit that feels completely productive, maybe even healthy, but according to a growing body of clinical research, it might be the very thing that is systematically dismantling your gut health and accelerating the aging process. I am talking about a mistake that most seniors make because they were taught it was the right way to handle food. But today, we are going to look at the hard data that shows how this specific habit is linked to chronic inflammation, a weakened immune system, and a disrupted microbiome. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what this mistake is, why it is so damaging to the aging body, and the simple, cost-free adjustment you can make tonight to protect your health for years to come. Stick with me, because this is one of those small changes that yields massive results for your energy and your brain. Welcome back to the channel. I am so glad you are here. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the community where we strip away the marketing fluff and the complicated medical jargon to give you the straight, science-backed truth on how to stay vibrant, strong, and sharp as you age. We focus on practical longevity, real steps you can take in your own home to improve your quality of life. Today, we are stepping into the heart of the home, the kitchen. Now, I know you've heard a lot about what to eat. We talk about fiber, we talk about protein, we talk about avoiding sugar. But we rarely talk about how we prepare our food and the hidden chemical reactions that happen before the fork even hits your mouth. If you are over the age of 60, your digestive system is not the same as it was when you were 20. Your gut lining is thinner, your stomach acid production is often lower, and your microbiome, that massive colony of beneficial bacteria, is more sensitive to environmental triggers. That means a minor kitchen mistake for a young person can become a major health hurdle for a senior. Let's talk about the mistake that is currently under the microscope of nutritional scientists worldwide. It involves the way we handle our cooking oils and the temperature of our pans. Many of us were raised in an era where we were told to avoid butter and lard at all costs and switch to heart-healthy vegetable oils. We were told to get the pan screaming hot to sear our meats and vegetables. But recent studies, including a landmark 2025 review on lipid oxidation, have revealed a dark side to this practice. When you take highly processed seed oils, like soybean, corn, or cottonseed oil, and subject them to high heat in a kitchen setting, you aren't just cooking your food. You are triggering a process called thermal oxidation. This creates compounds called polar materials and lipid peroxides. For a senior, these compounds are like a chemical sledgehammer to the gut. When you consume these oxidized oils, they come into direct contact with the delicate mucosal lining of your intestines. In a healthy young body, the gut barrier is robust. But as we age, we often deal with increased intestinal permeability, or what researchers call leaky gut. These oxidized fats act as irritants that further break down the tight junctions between your gut cells. Once those junctions are compromised, these toxic byproducts, along with undigested food particles and bacterial fragments, can leak into your bloodstream. This triggers a systemic immune response. If you've been feeling more fatigued lately, if your joints are itchier than usual, or if you feel a persistent brain fog, the culprit might be the inflammation originating from your frying pan. But the damage doesn't stop at the gut wall. Let's look at what this does to your microbiome. Your gut is home to trillions of microbes that regulate everything from your mood to your vitamin absorption. Research published just last year showed that a diet high in oxidized fat specifically targets and reduces the population of Akkermansia mucinifera. This is a keystone bacteria that is responsible for maintaining the thickness of your gut's protective mucus layer. Without enough Akkermansia, your gut is left unprotected, leading to a cycle of chronic inflammation that scientists call inflammaging. This is a state of constant low-grade inflammation that is now considered a primary driver of almost every age-related disease, from heart disease to type 2 diabetes. I want to share some specific numbers that really put this into perspective. A study tracking dietary habits found that individuals who frequently consumed foods cooked in reused or overheated vegetable oils had a 60% higher marker of systemic inflammation compared to those who use stable fats at lower temperatures. For seniors, whose bodies already have a harder time clearing out cellular waste, this 60% increase is the difference between feeling energetic and feeling chronically exhausted. So how do you fix this? It starts with a simple oil audit in your kitchen. First, check the smoke point of what you are using. If you see smoke rising from your pan, you have already gone too far. You have reached the point where the oil is breaking down into acrolein, a chemical that is literally used as a pesticide and is known to be a potent respiratory and digestive irritant. Instead of reaching for the vegetable oil or canola oil for high heat cooking, the science suggests moving toward more stable options. Extra virgin olive oil, despite some old myths, is actually quite stable at moderate temperatures because it is packed with polyphenols that protect the oil from breaking down. For higher heat, avocado oil is a fantastic choice because of its high smoke point and monounsaturated fat content. But even more importantly, we need to change our cooking methods. Think about the traditional low and slow methods of our grandparents. Steaming, poaching, stewing, and braising are not just ways to make food tender. They are ways to preserve the molecular integrity of your nutrients and protect your gut from oxidative stress. When you cook with water or steam, the temperature never exceeds 212 degrees Fahrenheit, 100 degrees Celsius. Compare that to a frying pan that can easily hit 450 degrees. By keeping the temperature down, you prevent the formation of advanced glycation end products, or AGEs. These are sticky compounds that gum up your tissues and are directly linked to the stiffening of arteries and the wrinkling of skin. Now let's talk about another layer of this kitchen mistake, the non-stick trap. Many of us love our non-stick pans because they make cleanup easy, but for many seniors, those pans are decades old. If your non-stick surface is scratched or peeling, you are introducing microplastics and forever chemicals, like PFAS, directly into your microbiome. Research has shown that these chemicals can act as obesogens and endocrine disruptors, interfering with your hormones and slowing down your metabolism. If you see a scratch on that pan, it's time to let it go. Replace it with stainless steel, cast iron, or high-quality ceramic. It might take a little more elbow grease to clean, but your gut will thank you for the lack of chemical interference. I know what some of you are thinking. I've been cooking this way for 40 years. Is it too late for me? The answer is a resounding no. The beauty of the human body, especially the gut, is its incredible capacity for regeneration. Your gut lining replaces itself roughly every 5 to 7 days. That means within 1 week of stopping the intake of oxidized oils and chemical irritants, you are already giving your body a fresh start. Let's move into the recovery phase. Once you've corrected the kitchen mistake, how do you heal the damage that's already been done? This is where we focus on the 3 R's: remove, replace, and repair. We've already talked about removing the bad oils and scratched pans. Now we replace them with gut-supporting nutrients. For seniors, one of the most powerful tools for gut repair is collagen. As we age, our natural collagen production drops significantly. Since your gut lining is largely made of collagen, supplementing with a high-quality bone broth or a collagen powder can provide the amino acids, like glycine and glutamine, needed to seal those tight junctions. Imagine it like putting a fresh coat of paint and sealant on a weathered fence. Next, we look at repairing the microbiome diversity. I want you to start thinking about prebiotic diversity. Most people know about probiotics, the live bacteria in yogurt or sauerkraut, but prebiotics are the food for those bacteria. For a senior's gut, the best prebiotics are found in what I call the gentle giants: cooked leeks, onions, garlic, and slightly underripe bananas. These provide resistant starch and inulin, which your beneficial bacteria ferment into butyrate. As we've discussed in previous videos, butyrate is the holy grail of gut health. It fuels your colon cells and tells your immune system to calm down. I want to touch on a very important point regarding medication. Many seniors are on daily medications for blood pressure, cholesterol, or joint pain. Did you know that the way you cook your food can actually affect how well your medications work? A gut that is chronically inflamed by oxidized oils has a harder time absorbing nutrients and medications consistently. By fixing this kitchen mistake, you aren't just protecting your gut, you are making sure your body can actually use the treatments your doctor has prescribed. Let's talk about the psychological side of this. Often, we stick to these kitchen habits because they are fast. We are busy, even in retirement. We want dinner on the table in 15 minutes. But I want to challenge you to view cooking as an act of longevity medicine. When you take an extra 10 minutes to prep a slow-simmered stew instead of a flash-fried meal, you are literally investing in your future mobility and mental clarity. There is a fascinating study out of Japan that looked at centenarian kitchens. What they found was a consistent absence of high-heat frying. Instead, the focus was on fermented broths, steamed vegetables, and small amounts of high-quality protein cooked at low temperatures. These people aren't just living long, they are living well. They are active, they are social, and they are sharp. And it all starts with what happens on the stove. I want to give you a concrete plan for the next 7 days. Day 1. Go through your pantry. If you have a massive plastic jug of vegetable oil or canola oil that has been sitting there for 6 months, toss it. Oils in plastic containers are prone to leaching chemicals and oxidizing faster due to light exposure. Replace it with a small bottle of high-quality extra virgin olive oil in a dark glass bottle. Day 2. Check your pans. If your non-stick skillet looks like it's been through a war zone, retire it. Day 3. Practice the low heat challenge. Try to cook an entire dinner without ever letting the pan sizzle loudly. Focus on sweating your vegetables in a little bit of water or broth before adding your healthy fats at the very end. Day 4. Introduce a bitter start. Before your main meal, have a small serving of bitter greens like arugula or a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar in water. This stimulates your gallbladder and liver to produce the bile necessary to digest fats properly, reducing the load on your gut. Day 5. Hydrate with intention. Your gut mucus layer is 95% water. If you are dehydrated, your gut protection is thin. Aim for small sips of water throughout the day, rather than chugging a large amount at once. Day 6. Focus on color diversity. Try to get 3 different colors of vegetables into your low and slow meal. Each color represents a different phytonutrient that acts as an antioxidant, neutralizing any lingering oxidative stress in your system. Day 7. Observe. Pay attention to your bloating, your energy after the meal, and your bathroom habits. Most people are shocked at how quickly their digestion smooths out when they stop attacking it with high-heat byproducts. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being aware. We live in a world that pushes us toward convenience and speed, but the aging body rewards patience and quality. You have worked hard to get to this stage of your life. You deserve to enjoy it with a body that feels light, a brain that feels quick, and an immune system that is ready to protect you. I want to address a quick myth before we wrap up. Many people think that searing meat locks in the juices. Science has actually debunked this. Searing meat doesn't lock in moisture. It actually causes the fibers to contract and push moisture out. What it does do is create a Maillard reaction, which tastes great, but, as we discussed, creates those pro-inflammatory agents. You can still get great flavor by using herbs, spices, and slow reduction sauces without the high heat damage. Before I go, I want to leave you with this thought. Your health is the sum of the small decisions you make in the quiet moments. It's not just about the big doctor's appointments or the expensive supplements. It's about the oil you choose, the temperature of your pan, and the care you take with your digestive system. If this video opened your eyes or gave you a new perspective on your kitchen habits, please hit that like button. It helps us reach more seniors who might be struggling with their health and don't know why. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and join our community. We have so much more to dive into regarding circulation, heart health, and natural ways to boost your energy. I want to hear from you in the comments. Be honest, is your non-stick pan scratched? Are you a high heat cook, or have you already made the switch to lower temperatures? Share your experience, because your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear to start their own journey toward better health. Thank you for spending this time with me. It is an honor to be a part of your health journey. Take care of your kitchen, take care of your gut, and most importantly, take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video. Now, I want to dig a bit deeper into something we touched on earlier, the silent destruction of the gut microbiome. We often think of our bacteria as just being there, but they are an active manufacturing plant. When you introduce these thermally oxidized oils, you are essentially throwing a wrench into the machinery. Imagine your gut bacteria trying to process a normal, healthy fiber, but they keep getting hit with a wave of toxic aldehydes and lipid peroxides. It changes their behavior. It forces the beneficial strains to go into survival mode, while the opportunistic pro-inflammatory bacteria begin to thrive in that toxic environment. This is particularly dangerous for seniors because of a phenomenon called reduced microbial resilience. As we age, our gut community becomes less like a dense, resilient rainforest and more like a carefully manicured garden. A single bad storm, like a week of eating fried foods or using the wrong oils, can wipe out entire species of bacteria that are hard to get back. These are the bacteria that help you synthesize vitamin K2 for your bone health and B vitamins for your energy. When you make this kitchen mistake, you aren't just hurting your stomach. You are potentially causing a nutritional deficiency that no multivitamin can fix. Think about your evening meal. If you take a piece of salmon, a food we all know is packed with brain-healthy omega-3s, and you drop it into a pan of overheated soybean oil, you are actually neutralizing the benefits of that expensive fish. The high heat oxidizes those delicate omega-3s, turning a superfood into an inflammatory trigger. This is why the how of cooking is just as important as the what. Another aspect to consider is the hidden cost of flavor. We have been conditioned to crave the crunch and the charred taste of fried foods. But that craving is often a signal of a microbiome that is out of balance. Studies have shown that certain gut bacteria can actually hijack your vagus nerve to send signals to your brain, making you crave the very foods that keep those bad bacteria alive. By switching to low-heat methods and using stable fats like extra virgin olive oil, you aren't just healing your gut, you are literally retraining your brain and your taste buds. Within just a few weeks of making this change, many seniors report that their cravings for greasy fried foods simply disappear. They start to taste the actual flavor of the food, the sweetness of a slow-roasted carrot, the richness of a poached piece of fish. Finally, I want to emphasize that this is about long-term sustainability. Longevity isn't a destination, it's a practice. If you make this adjustment tonight, you are setting a new standard for your body. You are telling your cells that you value their integrity. You are telling your microbiome that you are a supportive host. This is the ultimate form of self-care. It doesn't cost a dime, it doesn't require a prescription, and it is entirely within your control. You have the power to change your health trajectory, starting with the very next meal you prepare. Let's make it a meal that nourishes your body and protects your future.